into top 24. Of course, this is the winner's side. This and the next set will be the final two top 24 qualifiers. After that, we will be moving straight into the top 24. Nairo, of course, off to the usual explosive start that he always gets off to.
One of the interesting things we're seeing, oh my god!
One of the interesting things that we're seeing is Nairo taking stocks in the first 30 seconds.
I was just about to say, I was like, I was going a lot of Bayo today. We're seeing him quite a bit focusing on this character, but then just out of nowhere, Nairo says, I really don't care what character you're going to play. I'm going to pretend like you're the lightest character in the game. We're going to go off the top at 30. Oh my god, that was absolutely wild.
And another powerful punish, 37% right off the bat. Aba, of course, getting his own share of damage, but nice punish on that whiff grab right there.
And it's really imperative that Abadango continues his pressure in the corner here. After what can only be described as an amazing start for Nairo, for him to be able to pull this back, it's really going to come down to him getting that perfect witch twist, finishing on this combo here, or just getting something to close out the stock without taking any more damage.
Meanwhile, he's also going to have to find a way to alleviate himself from Nairo's pressure himself. Nairo is so good at maintaining advantage, finding those openings when you're in the air, just understanding your defensive options. If he breaks you open, if he understands what you're doing defensively, you will lose.
It really feels like he almost has a camera on your controller. He knows where you're going before it happens. He has an idea of what you want to do before it even begins. He's a level 9 CPU. He's got that predictive AI.
Exactly.
I love the little cancel to the tether off the side there, just so we can put him in a perfect position if he wants to drop down and maybe potentially challenge Bayo's recovery.
All right, now we're seeing some really good DI and SDI coming out from Nairo to avoid the potential death follow-ups from Abadango.
No fear whatsoever from Nairo either. He is...
Oh my goodness!
Oh my god! Welcome to almost top 24, ladies and gentlemen.
We're not even there yet, ladies and gentlemen. This is what a start, and of course it would be from Nairo of all people.
What's great with this camera angle is literally just off to the left of it is the Nairo Perler fan, the one that always sits in top 8 in the NRG gear, the Nairo champion not named Paradin. And I'm sure he's losing his mind right now.
Meta Knight 91.
Correct.
Shout out to Meta Knight 91, man.
I saw him waiting in the crowd, waiting for Nairo to come up, and I know he's absolutely loving this right now.
Meanwhile, of course, we have now the Abadango Mewtwo after that dissection from Nairo from the previous game. Abadango choosing to switch it up, but a little bit too high to land the flip kick.
So scary there. Would have been a back-to-back explosive start from Nairo. And it's really going to be interesting to see what Mewtwo is able to do for him that that Bayo wasn't. Because really it had much less to do about his own failures and plays and more the fact that Nairo really just never gave up his advantage.
Now, the first thing that we're seeing is that Abadango's defense so far has been a lot more strong. He's been able to read Nairo's offensive options a lot better, and as a result, he's able to get the punishes.
Perfect. And see, a lot of players on the lower end would wait to come down and charge a smash attack at some time, giving Nairo the chance to escape out of that. Abadango instead pushes his advantage, gets that high up air, and closes out that first stock.
All right, now let's see how quickly Nairo is able to answer back. Mewtwo at 83% versus a character with as much explosive power as Zero Suit Samus. This is kind of precarious for him. So Abadango needs to be careful.
One strong read like that up B right there would have probably been enough to close out the stock, but instead Nairo having to find another win in neutral to get it instead.
And of course, these neutral airs from Abadango are doing so much damage, 60% on Nairo already. Excellent Shadow Ball coming out as well.
It looked like that Shadow Claw just outside of the range. Nairo, of course, no fear whatsoever, putting so much offstage pressure on Aba.
And this pressure in the corner, just from the empty hops, waiting patiently for him to open up and shield, and bam, hitting him with the back air.
1, 2, 3 times I've got you. It's absolutely fascinating watching Nairo just get inside the head of his opponents, sitting there with the most common of options, and then suddenly when he decides that he's ready to let loose, it just works every time.
Yeah, we see at the moment the way that Nairo is playing in the corner. He's reacting, but it doesn't matter when Abadango is here with the down air.
And if you look closely, Abadango wearing the jersey from the Smash Brothers Invitational, getting that power-up from the Nintendo booth in the back, punishing what is the option he already saw once already from the first stock from Nairo, missing that flip kick, and instead ending the stock right away from him. Absolutely great stuff.
1-1 between
and now he's going
two.
back to Bayo. Interesting.
Most likely, I feel like he might have switched back to Bayo because he may be more comfortable on whatever kind of counter pick that Nairo would opt for in in response.
Yeah, we see the triplat, so that makes a little bit of sense. Obviously, Bayo going to be very strong on this stage. And Mewtwo not without his strengths on triplats, but to battle against the just pure explosiveness that is ZSS on this stage, I feel like you're right, Bayo is probably the better pick.
Especially since, you know, Mewtwo is so susceptible to dying incredibly early across those platforms. I'm pretty sure that Nairo has managed to grab Abadango in previous sets at about 20% and killed him.
We might see something here. He resets his jumps here. But of course, Bayo with that escapability, a lot of other characters would not be able to get that far across the stage once ZSS is underneath them. Absolutely incredible strong start. You can really tell that Nairo, after having a couple of losses to Bayos along the way, that he really was just not happy about his put so much time and effort into this matchup. You mentioned the SDI and the DI in the first game and how good it is, and we're seeing more of the same here. Just tons and tons of damage, and Abadango just can't get in. Yeah,
the way that Nairo has been playing every state of the game in this matchup has just been incredibly good, but the double witch twist into up air, enough to take the stock, even with that nutty SDI up.
And that's just what happens sometimes. You just get put in a bad situation, and Nairo answers back immediately.
Yes, excellent pull out on the landing and then catching that boost kick.
Oh, I love the landing up air into the up smash. Huge damage start from Nairo right now. And Abadango with his own answers there. We're looking at 30 piece. This player is going hit for hit after what was a very one-sided first stop.
Now once again, this time Abba once again stuck in the corner, although being Bayonetta, he has a plethora of options to work his way around the ledge. Double witch twist again into up air.
They did it twice at the same percents. The same percents, this time with no rage. Nairo does not look happy at all. You see him maybe with that, maybe switching hands with the SDI there. That was a dissection in that second game, second stock. Both players pretty much dead even, and then Abadango hits one combo, hits that double witch twist off the top, and suddenly it's just over.
Yeah, and that's that superb top player awareness coming out from Abadango, just recognizing the fact, recognizing Nairo's DI in that instance and going for the double witch twist instead of the afterburner kick. Really, really got him those stocks.
It's going to be really interesting to see how well Nairo responds, because clearly annoyed after that first game, but not without tournament experience, saying that this is something that I can work around. Bayonetta is her own separate beast in this game, but I feel like if you played against enough, you still can just roll with the punches of that. Like, sometimes that just happens.
That said though, unlike the previous games where Abba has started Bayo, he has taken control and taken the lead, riding the momentum of the previous two games.
Absolutely. Now, I do have a question for you. If Nairo were to win this game and force a game 5, do you believe Abba would stay Bayo at that point?
Possibly. He would have the pick to Lilac Cruise if Nairo doesn't choose to ban it. However, he does need to keep in mind that Mewtwo as well, so it'll be a tricky situation. I think Abba will ride the momentum that he's generated from the previous, from Game 3, and try to work his best from there.
See right now, once again, Abba finds himself in a familiar place in the corner, but hasn't really had too much of a struggle with it. You mentioned in the last game just how good Bayo's tools are out of the corner. But even now, just that Nair is going to be enough to finish it, and now Abadango one stock away from putting Nairo into losers.
What a grab! Wispy helping out right there, giving Nairo the extra range to really get that grab sealed.
More often than not, most players complain about Wispy affecting things. Nairo being blessed by him at this point, though. Oh my god, beautiful strings here from Abadango.
Now we see Abba just doing a fantastic job, playing very aggressively.
He's gone. Just like that. The up throw into the double uppy again 3 times, and 3 times success. Abadango advances in the top 24 in a rather dominant fashion after getting absolutely waylaid game 1 as Bayo, switching to Mewtwo, winning, switching back to Bayo, and then winning back-to-back games on Nairo's preferred stage in Dreamland. What a fascinating first set here for you guys. This has been awesome.
Yeah, incredible action already. Just seeing Abadango's adaptation in the neutral, how he was able to really capitalize on his punishes, not allowing Nairo to really get started on what he needed to. And particularly that edge guard in Game 4, you know, he really understood the options that Nairo had opted for off stage and was able to capitalize beautifully.
Absolutely.